everyone. Welcome to Season 4 of The Spirit of Success. I'm your host, Yara, and on today's episode, we will be discussing careers related to music. Joining me today from Nigeria, I have the pleasure of speaking with well-known and beloved Afrobeat artist Armixi. Creating upbeat and uplifting Afrobeat music, Armixi's songs focus on bringing people together, advocating for service to humanity, community building, virtues, and positivity. His music carries on the tradition of incorporating music in all aspects and events of life. Throughout his continued dedication to serving his community and spreading meaningful messages through his music, Armixi continues to show what a powerful tool music is in creating a united and peaceful world. Welcome, Armixi. How are you today?
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Yara. How are you too?
I'm good. Thank you for asking, and thank you so much for being on the show today. I'm really looking forward to our conversation. So we'd love to know what got you into singing and music, and how did you get your start?
Ah, music is something for me. It's part of my life, from my childhood and everything about it. I've been doing it like a hobby and all that, and now it has grown to a stage where it's become my career. And then we all started it at the Baha'i setting in the village, where we had a Baha'i band. I was part of the band, and we used to play. And then I really got inspired through this process. And one time I was incorporated into a team of people to go and teach the paid music culture. So I was the chief drummer in a cultural way. So that really helped nurture this spirit of music. And then since then it's been, and then we are still on it. So it's really something that gives me joy, and it's part of my contribution to uplifting the society as well. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. And
Yeah.
how would you say that your beliefs and values have influenced your approach to music? And what messages and values do you try to promote through your music?
Yeah, because music is really a very great tool that speaks to a whole lot of people, and people tend to follow what we musicians do or say. So I use this as a medium to entertain, but then infuse it with uplifting messages, and then also try to live life that also follow what I'm singing, because it's one thing to sing to tell people to do the right thing, and then you go on the contrary. So it's also a challenge on me. So as I try to give this out, it's also a challenge for me to live up to that expectation. So in so doing, it's a mutual and holistic development. So and I can see that people around me and those who have listened to my songs always come back to say, wow, their music quite uplifting. So it's a thing of joy for me to see that gradually we are influencing the people through music. It's a great thing.
That is wonderful. And just to mention, a specific example, all of your songs are really, I think, just really fun and at the same time uplifting, as you mentioned. And with those, one specific one is Giving. And to show you an example of Armixi's music, here's Armixi's Giving.
The more you give, the more you get. Be generous, man. So, the YZ on the beat. You see me so happy, man, na. My blessings plenty, see I know fit count. Hey. I hear them calling any man, goody mado. Who men would they come, goody mado. Bad no feki mado, na. Hey. The more you give, the more you get to. If I never like you already know. One good turn deserves another, na. Yeah. The more you give, the more you get to. If I never like you already know. One good turn deserves another, na. When we give up, what you sow, na him you go reap. What you give, na him you go get to. What you sow, na him you go reap. What you give, na him you go get to. If you need love, give love. If you need peace, give peace. Eh. If you need happiness, make another man happy. Not be sad because you get cash, oh. That is why you have to pay hash, oh. Pride confess before follow. Simmer down, humble yourself, oh. Not be sad because you get cash, oh. That is why you have to day harsh. Oh. Pride confess before follow. Simmer down, humble yourself. Oh. You see me so happy, man, na. My blessings plenty, see I know fit count to. Hey, I hear them calling any man, goody maru. Woman, would ye come, goody maru. Bade no, ufeki maru, na. Hey, the more you give, the more you get to. Give and never lie, you already know. One good turn deserves another, na. Yeah. The more you give, the more you get to. Give and never lie, you already know. One good turn deserves another, man, we give up. If you get, make you humble. No, they come to the fumble. Kuru carry like vulture. Them they pop like cold water, Gary. If you get, make you humble. No, they come to the fumble. Kuru carry like vulture. Them they pop like cold water, Gary. No love man, we are no ghetto. Make we give a helping hand. No one knows tomorrow. What goes round surely comes around. No love man, we are no ghetto. Make we give a helping hand. No one knows tomorrow. What goes round surely comes around. You see me so happy, man, na. My blessings plenty, see I know fit count to. Hey, I hear them calling any man, goody maru. Woman, would ye come, goody maru. Bade no, ufeki maru, na. Hey, the more you give, the more you get to. Give and never lie, you already know. One good turn deserves another, na. Yeah. The more you give, the more you get to. Give and never lie, you already know. One good turn deserves another, na. May we give it. The more you give, the more you get, man.
Wonderful video and such a beautiful song. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking more to, how you come up with these and creativity and all of that, what does creativity mean to you? And how do you bring together creativity and spirituality?
Ah, when you're talking about creativity, for me, it's also divine. You might be creative, but there is a source that creativity comes to you. And I believe that we were created by God, and He has given us everything. And so the creativity for me comes to the fact that this is a gift from God to me. And if it's a gift from God to me, whatever I'm going to create should also be uplifting. It should be empowering and enhance the advancement of the human society. So creativity and spirituality for me connected. Because creativity, you might think that you are creating it, but there is a source through which that creativity comes to you. And then that has to be influenced in a way that you utilize it, in a way it will be beneficial to yourself and to the human society. So to me, they are actually connected. And that helps to check whatever we put out in the creative world. So it's a really very important thing to understand as well. Yeah.
I love how you put that, the idea that it has a source. It's not just like coming, from nowhere. Creativity and spirituality really, rather than bringing them together, they're kind of intertwined.
Yeah.
And so, in a lot of your songs and music videos, you include many members of your community and your community's children, and they all take
Yeah.
really active parts in, creating and bringing to life these songs.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the role of music and art in creating and bringing together communities?
Since I'm into music and I'm with the people, so my music has to also bring that energy and make my people happy and get them also in it. You cannot segregate yourself from your environment. Since I'm into music and the people around me, they love what I'm doing. And then I know that my music is that which will uplift and make everybody happy. So I always like to incorporate to show the world that this music is friendly to every setting. So it's not restricted, to a certain group of people. So in so doing, it's a way of passing a message, Any community-driven program has a way of influencing humanity. So I believe in grassroots development. So my music to take that into consideration. That's why I see my songs, my videos, most times try to take that along. So it's a thing that is naturally in my build-up.
That is really beautiful. And how would you say that your experience of working with your community beyond its role in bringing together the community, or being a source of bringing people together to enjoy music and, celebrate that and the messages behind it? What's been their experience? What is the feedback you get from them when they get to be a part of these projects?
Like for instance, the last video we did for the Baha'i World, actually to Abdul Baha, I received calls, messages from the community because I traveled like 3 hours from my community to a Baha'i community where that video was shot. And then I've received so many calls from this community, their appreciation, their joy, and how they keep playing this video and how they use it in their community activities. That alone is enough fulfillment for me. How they feel so important that I came all the way to put them on this project, and the video is all over the world. And then they are hearing all the comments and how people are talking about this, and then how they themselves are using it to even teach the faith to others within the community. So it's a thing of, they even send a message that please the next video I should bring it on that the whole community want to be part Baha'is and friends of the faith. They're so excited to see their members, their relatives on that video and all that. So for me, it's enough fulfillment to see how people are so happy that I give them that chance. And they also made that video very beautiful. Their interaction, their activities, everything was just so beautiful. To me, as I said earlier, that is enough fulfillment to make people happy, and in turn, too, I feel happy. Yeah, so it's a good one for me.
That is really amazing. And like you said, it really added so much to the video and to all the videos, that you do that include members of your community. And like we mentioned in the beginning, it really just shows the power of bringing people together, to create one project, spread one message. And so in the beginning, you mentioned this a little bit, but what was the role of music in your life as you were growing up? If you'd like to share a little bit more about that, and in your family's life today.
The role of music for me, it helped me to be connected to a whole lot of people right from when I was a child because I play with passion, with joy. So that makes people to be attracted to me and I get more people around me. So it has helped me to build a community around myself. Like for instance, some few weeks ago I was home and then the people heard that I was home. They came. There's the name they call me in the village. They call me Etembre. Etembre means somebody that brings joy whenever he's around. So, and then there was a message in the village that, hey, Etembre is around, Etembre is around. And then before you knew it, the house was filled up with people, just because of this, my passion of music. And, once you are in music, it makes you friendly and you relate with a whole lot of people. You learn a lot as well. So for me, that role has helped to even strengthen the bond between my family and the other families within the community, and then make people also draw closer to us. And we learn and then we share with people. So there's that confidence that this art of music has developed and created between myself, my people, and the entire community. So it's really an amazing thing. It breaks barriers, and brings people together. It releases the energy, the latent energy,
Yeah.
in people. So that has really been so great in
Yeah.
my pursuit of music, and it's also a thing of benefit to my family as a whole. Because whether I'm there or not, if my sisters or any relative of mine come from outside to the village, the way I'm treated, that same attraction is drawn to them because they know that they are related to me and all that. So it's like opening doors for everybody in the family. So, yeah, it's really amazing.
That is really wonderful. One thing that you've been doing a lot, especially during this time in the pandemic, and to get more fans engaged, is through social media, through challenges with your songs of people doing dance covers and things to them. So how does one build a fan base or an audience base, and engage with them in uplifting and meaningful ways that create that sense of community, but online?
That is an area of great importance, and it's not an easy area because on social media you are meeting diverse people with diverse interests and attention and all that. But then our ability to create things to bring people closer to you takes a lot of work. So, and one of the key things I learned from my friends and other people is constant update of your social media pages and then putting content that will engage the attention of the people. Not the one that debates the human station, but something that uplift and challenge their thinking. So in so doing, there might be people who are attracted to transient things, but then there are a whole lot of people too who are interested in things that can challenge the human mind. So we put things too that help to spur these challenges in the mind of the people and draw them closer. So in so doing, gradually I've seen that even my fan base on social media has grown. We tried during this period of pandemic, we see how gradually people are picking interest. I mean, we receive calls from people I never thought would call me. We see some people following me on my social media handles, people I never thought would do. People calling me directly with their phone and say, "Save, this is my number." I never thought that would happen. And this is as a result of our content. And this is through social media. I never knew them before. So, in fact, what has kept me sustained in my social media activities, that has given me some opportunities to also work, make music, sell music online to some companies in the United States and make money to take care of my family and do more music. So really, it's been a wonderful period, though challenging, but to some of us, it has opened doors because of the content we put out there. So and it's really very encouraging. And that's why I even share with some of the friends around me that we have a lot to give, but we tend to belittle our station. We can really challenge ourselves and put good content out there. And definitely, it might take time, but once you start yielding, you're already on a good foundation. So that is my own testimony.
That is
Yeah,
all really great advice to consider. And I mean, when you see all the different interactions on your social media pages, well, for one, and a lot of the challenges, you see people from so many different ages, right? It's not even just like limited to one group of people, which is absolutely beautiful. And seeing them all participate. But also, I think, especially nowadays, you see a lot of environments on the internet which are really toxic, which are really degrading, bring people down. People's fans bring each other down in the comments. But one thing that I've noticed so much in your social media space is everybody's bringing each other up. Everybody's so excited. So obviously, as you all are listening and you're considering how do I grow my own social media base, or if you're an aspiring artist, right? Obviously, what Armix is saying is working and is building that beautiful community. So that's absolutely amazing. So one question that we received a few times from last seasons was what goes into networking and establishing connections in the music industry, and how would you suggest that people go about creating these contacts?
okay, yeah. One of the key things I've also seen is following some people with their content.
Hmm.
Try to like, comment on their content, try on social media. You also you don't stay on your own. You try to see what other people are doing, and anything you also like. It's good to interact and share your thought on it. For me, that has also created some connection. And but then deliberately too, we try to reach out to some people based on the certain content that we may have to see how we can collaborate and relate. So sometimes it's not always easy. So when you are the so-called at the low level and some are already up there, then you try to link up. It's not always easy. But then by the time you keep building your content and they keep following you, gradually they start picking interest. And as I said earlier, with this kind of activity, when you are consistent and then you also talk about what others are doing, you start building this relationship and connecting with other people. So I've seen how that has helped me even in my production in Nigeria. There are some producers now who call me and say, "Hey, can we work together?" Just because I follow what they are doing and they are also following what I'm doing. They have seen my content. So gradually that is building up. Even right today, there's a producer in Lagos. He called me today. He's working on a beat for me, fresh beat. Just because of interaction on social media, he has seen what I'm doing. He called up and say, "Hey, Armix, I want us to work together. I'm making a beat. I want you to be on this song and all that." So that is just consistency, following up on what others are doing, try to appreciate others sincerely, and sharing other people's work if you can. That helps to build and connect you with others. But you can also deliberately write to some people and say, hey, guy, can we work together? And I have this and all that. So, yeah, so that has helped to link up with other people. But Afrobeat has the power, especially outside Africa. Afrobeat has the power to bring people to you.
Mhm.
That is what we've seen. It has connected us to people in the Western world. So that alone too, if it's well done and consistent, it attracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our content to attract and build relationship with people. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Throughout this interview, we've touched on this topic and the idea of music being a powerful tool for bringing people together. But
Yeah.
what would you say is the role of music and musicians in society at large?
It is a channel, though not well used as it's supposed to be. It is a channel to educate and uplift the human society. That is for me. That is just what I understand about music. You entertain, then you uplift. To because it's a gift from God to us. So we should also use it and contribute. Just like you will want a medical doctor to treat patients who are ill, so also music should add by educating the people through giving some positive messages through our music. So that role is very important and needed in the society. But what I've seen is that the structure of the mind influence what we put out as our musical content. So the moral structure, if strong, will influence the content and will go a long way to add value to the society. But when affected by the vices of the society, that is what influence what content comes from such music and the musician, and in a way, debase the human station.
Yeah.
So, but the role of music actually is to add value to the human society. But the musician themselves must first understand that, and that comes from the power of the mind.
Beautifully put. Thank you. And
Yeah.
in your own career, what obstacles or challenges, if any, have you encountered, and how have these shaped your approach to music and music creation?
Yeah. One of our greatest challenges has been the area of funding. We have the ideas, but the funding and getting your music out. Like in Nigeria, because music is a very big business. So now for you to get your song out, you need a lot of money. No matter how good you are as an artist, you need a lot of money to put your songs on radio stations, for DJs to play it, TV stations to play your videos. You need a lot of money. So that has been one of our greatest challenges. But then what I've also understood in my years of work is that you have to also set a goal and take it step by step. The little funds you have, work based on that. Don't try to reach out to the moon when you can start at the base and grow. So you take it step by step, but just make sure that every step is taking you to the next level. So that's what I've seen in myself. I've seen growth because of consistency, learning and reflecting on my work, and then trying to align my productions based on some trend of production. Also, not holding so fast to a kind of traditional kind of production. We try to learn the trend and then improve on it, but not losing sight of their positive content. That help in a way of overcoming some of the challenges. But for me, it's not about writing the song, it's not about creating it, but it's about the funding to take it out and to produce it to the standard that one will feel, wow, satisfied to put it out. Sometimes we put out some songs, we just put it out because of the means we have. Not like we are so satisfied with the production, but that is how far we can go. But you cannot also wait for perfection before you move on. Because I've seen that those steps I took have actually taken me to another level as I am right now. So if I had waited to have all the money before I put out things, I wouldn't have been at this level. So yeah, taking advantage, taking the risk, putting things out is very important, irrespective of the challenges we might be facing. Put your content as much as you can out. Somebody might just be interested in a certain thing and that takes it to another level. And that's my story.
That is really great advice. And in addition to music, you also have a passion for agriculture. And so, can
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about this?
I was born into agro environment as well. So apart from music, I love working with my hands in the soil. Even behind the yard where I am, there's a small garden I've made for vegetables just to show my passion for it. But then I have a very big dream for agriculture also. As my music is growing, as we start making some good money, we will invest it in agriculture. So my branch of investment will be in agriculture. So I love agriculture so much, especially those economic trees like cocoa, plantain, banana. These, these are crops that are doing so well in my own region. And these are things I can do because I've worked in this plantation before, like rendering service to people to learn how it is done. So that I've gained experience so that when I have my own means to start, it wouldn't be any issue. So that is an area that I would definitely go in as we grow in the business. I love agriculture too. But for now, my career is music. But then my branch of investment is agriculture.
That is so fun. And of course, best wishes with that. I hope that everything goes well. One of the big questions of the show is what does success mean to you, and how has your definition of success evolved throughout your life and career?
What success means to me is when we're able to put out something and people are happy with it. They use it, they talk about it, and then they keep asking you for more. For me, that is success. It's not about the material stuff that you make. Something that even when you pass on, people keep talking about it and they keep using it. And then you're able to carry other people along the ladder. That is success. So for me, I've seen that there are some other artists trying the Baha'i cycle that I'm also working with, trying to inspire them to come up with the little I have. So for me, seeing them happy and always coming around, hey, I mix it, I mix it, that alone is a huge success. So inspiring others, giving things that people are happy to use, children are happy with it, family friendly stuff that people are talking about it. For me, that is success. I mean, being able to inspire people and you yourself, you are happy with it, irrespective of the material benefit you would have gained from that. The sharing heart with their content for me is a huge, huge success. So that's why there's one song that I've written titled Happy Man. I am a happy man anytime, any day. Yeah, so
That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And like you said, that idea of like the legacy that you leave behind, right? 'Cause that's like the intangible stuff I think that really makes one feel fulfilled, right? It's beyond, all the material things that are eventually going to go away. That's something that you carry on with you. What do you think is the role of youth in service in today's society?
ah, one of my songs, Youth Can Move the World. It's one of my first songs ever recorded as a solo artist. I believe that youth are the catalyst to bring about change in the world, and their role is enormous. But then they need an environment that is friendly, not paternalistic. They need to be exposed and not being always cautioned, do this and don't do that. They need to be allowed to explore while also being guided. So the youth, because of their energy, because of their ability to explore, because of their flexibility and ability to relate with different people, they have a great role to play in uplifting the human society. And that is why even in the album I'm working on for the master, there's an element that talk about the role of the youth and the community, how we should put hands together to support the youth because they can't do it alone. But the action and inaction of the adults can also influence them, either to inspire them, the aspiration to contribute to the change in the society. So this stand at the center of any growth or prosperity of any nation. So we need to really give them that chance by creating the enabling environment for the youth. Yeah. So I believe there's one line in one of my songs that say, I believe in youth. I believe in youth that youth can move the world when in action, but that action has to be positive action.
Oh, very
Yeah.
beautifully expressed. And I love that. The idea that, you know, the guidance is necessary, but also the importance for them to explore and creating an environment where everybody is actively participating in trying to create a better world, right? Because that's what influences them and allows them to, continue that motivation that they have within them, but really lets it come out, I think. What advice do you have for youth who want to pursue music as a career?
Ah, we have a lot of talent in us, but then there is something that will always be prominent in youth. For me, music has been very prominent in, as I said, in my family, in the community. Whenever I'm mounting stage at the local level, then to play, the attraction is always different. So people always talk about it. People are always attracted to it. So one man came and told me that this is your line of gift, because other people will play the same thing, but the moment you step on, the little you do, everybody will just be wow with it. So this should be what you pursue. And then I started feeling it too. Whenever I'm in the music environment, the joy that radiates from me is uncontrollable. I might be sick, but the moment I know that I'm going to the studio to record, even my wife, the family knows, all the sickness will go. The drive is just coming from within. It's not so much about because you want people to know you or you want to make money, but the joy of doing it. For me, that's what has kept me. It has kept me in the path of service as well. For me, it's been there and a thing of joy. Sometimes I could even play just the table in the house and I'm happy singing, dancing to myself, only myself. So it's there. And spontaneously we can do it anywhere. We don't sometimes I'm not even prepared. You go to the say, hey Olinga, I say, please do this for us. Then we bust in and we do it. It's something that brings me joy and it's a sweet career for me. Though it's a challenging one, but it's joyous as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, I think what you're saying is the idea that like music should be something that you feel is a part of you. It's not because you want to do it for recognition, but to pursue it as a career, it should be something that you feel is like integral to your life, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a really distinguishing factor between those that you really feel are making music out of passion versus those that are making music out of the desire to be
Yeah.
recognized and to be famous and to have a fan base, right? So Arvixi, it's been so wonderful talking with you. You have such a wonderful energy, and everything. So unfortunately, our episode's coming to an end. But do you have any additional words of encouragement or advice that you'd like to share with our audience?
Keep on believing, trusting, waiting you they do. Every other brother man got a payday. No pain, no gain, I man, no they slow. Stress of your muscle to the flex on tomorrow. What that means is that keep on doing what you're doing, keep on believing. Stress today, you will enjoy tomorrow. No good thing comes easy. So just love what you are doing, be passionate, and make sure what you are doing is adding value to the world. In so doing, there will be divine assistance. So that is just it. Love what you are doing, no imitation. Be yourself, do it for the sake of doing it, and then God will take care of the rest. So that's my word to the people. Love your work.
What a great way to end
So
our episode today. Oh, hello. And today we have a special guest. What's your name?
his name is Splendor.
Nice to meet you. And so I think there can't be a better way to end the episode than when we're talking about youth and just a very vibrant and energetic way. Thank you again so much, Armixi, for your insight and advice today. It's really been a pleasure speaking with you. Hello. Hi, everyone. And to learn more about Armixi, to check out his music and work, and to stay up to date with his upcoming releases, visit his Instagram at Armixi, Facebook and Twitter at Armixi1, YouTube at Armixi Official, and his website at solo.to/Armixi. Armixi's been working on a lot of upcoming songs and projects, including his upcoming album and release titled Believing. Would you like to tell us more about this song?
Thank you. So, yeah, one of the latest job I just recorded, which is not yet out, is believing. Telling the world that you have to believe what you're doing. You have to be passionate with what you're doing, and then do it with joy, irrespective of the stress you go through. Once you keep believing, one day you get your success. And then I'm working on a very special project for our beloved Master Abdul Baha. It's an album that will have 10 songs on it. and with different musicians, different producers, and featuring some other artists on it, different engineers, big engineers in the world working on this project. So it's a very special one. It's one of my biggest projects ever since I started this journey. And I'm happy that it is for Abdul Bahar. So he is the source of inspiration for that album. And it's going to be a hit from number one to number 10. It's a non-stop energy. You know, I am a Afro dance or Afro pop, Afro beat. So we are putting all for Abdul Bahar. There's a very special number on that album, My Traditional Music. And I'm working on a video for that one. Next month, I have to get that shot. And that is going to, give the world the real Aramixi from the grassroots. I'm taking it down to my village. As you said, I'm a community person. I'm taking it back home to bring it for the world to enjoy, all for Abdul Bahar. So it's a very special number on that album. Yeah.
That is so great. Well, I'm super excited to hear it when it all comes out, and I'm sure everybody is as well. So be sure to check them out as they're released. Obviously, follow his social medias to stay up to date with that. But playing now, here's Armixie's Motive. Enjoy!
Yes, yo. Waiting be a motive now. Anything we do, get motive. Motive more important than waiting we do. Anything we do, get motive. Motive more important than waiting we do. Motive, motive. What is your motive? Intention, intention. What is your intention? Motive, motive. What is your motive? Intention, intention. What is your intention? You won't go to Yankee. What is your motive? You want marry Oyibo. What is your motive? You want do agriculture. What is your motive? You want be a musician. What is your motive? You want be politician. What is your motive? What is your motive? You want make them shut up. You want dress to kill. You want plenty money. You want big car. You want make them shut up. You want dress to kill. You want plenty money. You want big car. Yeah. Anything we do, get motive. Motive more important than waiting we do. Anything we do, get motive. Motive more important than waiting we do. Motive, motive. What is your motive? Intention, intention. What is your intention? Motive, motive. What is your motive? Intention, intention. What is your intention? You want be this, you want be that, you want do this, you want do that, you want be this, you want be that, you want do this, you want do that, you wanna be this, you want to be that, you want to do this, you want to do that. What is your intention? You want sing like Tubaba, you want rap like Emma, you want be like Don Jazzy, you want shoot like Clarence, you want funny like AY, even I go die, you want act like Genevieve, even Ramsey Noah, you want play like Okocha, come they score like Eto, you want be like Denuga, Dangote, Tedola, brother na plenty wako, ha! Anything we do, get motive. Motive more important than waiting we do. Anything we do, get motive. Motive more important than waiting we do. Motive, motive. What is your motive? Intention, intention. What is your intention? Motive, motive. What is your motive? Intention, intention. What is your intention? Anything we do, get motive. Anything we do, get motive. Eh. Motive more important than waiting we do. Than waiting we do, show them. Than waiting we do. Than waiting we do, give them. Than waiting we do, haha. Our mixing you already know. Give them. Ha! Anything we do, got motive, man. Remember, the act is not as important as the intention of the heart, man. Check it out. Future on the beat.
Well, thank you again for your time today, Armixi. It's really been wonderful talking with you. And as always, thank you all for listening. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and like the podcast on its various platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, to be notified each time a new episode is posted. If you want to get the latest updates about the show, announcements, submit questions that you would like me to consider to talk about on the show, or join discussions related to the topics we discuss on the show, follow us on Instagram at spiritofsuccess, Facebook at spiritofsuccess9, and our Facebook group under the Spirit of Success. Until next time, I'm your host Yara, and don't forget to continue challenging yourself and working to make your spirit soar to new heights. Bye!
Oh, thank you.